seen, I think they've been out in America for years and years and years. We used to play dominoes when we were a kid, and I enjoyed it for a bit, but it's not something I enjoyed for a long time. It's not, I don't know, something about it I didn't like anyway. But this one really worked my interest because it's to do with trains. I like trains, and it's got a different method of scoring and different method of playing, and it seems a little bit more interesting than just laying one tile after another. Just to show you, it's a little bit tight, that. So what I've got is, I'll take that centre one out. It's not glued or anything. Yeah, and what I've got is about 5 or 6 millimetres there, and a bit in the middle, which I might put a bit of felt in so that it looks nice. And I've got no idea what I might cover this. I think it would be quite difficult to try and cover this with a material now. I think I might just paint it, rub it clean and clean everything off and take all the rough edges off, and then just paint it, and then put a couple of pictures on it, and I might do an indentation for the train, where the train's going to go. So I might have to do another thing on top of this so these things will fit in. I'll have to do them round. That's going to be a disjoy. I won't enjoy that. But anyway, I'll think of something. Something will crop up. Well, this is the final part of the hub, because I can't talk about much else, because I don't know much else about the game, because I haven't even read the rules. As I say, I usually do the rules first, read the rules, and then look on the net and see what the boys are doing and how much they can tell me. And but I haven't had a chance to look into this one because I've been doing things for my daughter, so I'm a bit slow off the mark. But really, I wanted to get the bits and pieces before I could do anything. And there's a couple of things that you've got to buy. I mean, I could have made the dominoes themselves, but I find these dominoes, they're good dominoes, but they're hard to work with, because when you look at them, your eyes sort of glaze over, because you're looking at so many unusual tiles. I've never seen 12s before, and 11s, and things don't match up at the moment, so I'd probably have to play it a few times before you adjusted to the set, to get used to the set. And I went looking on the in America. If you go looking in America on Amazon, you can pick up anything you want in numbers. I wanted numbered tiles, so, and there was number 12, and well, hopefully this is the final bit. I've been messing about, and I didn't like the way I'd done that bronze. It looked as though it was cardboard or something. I wasn't entirely satisfied with it, so I've contrived it up again, and I've got one suit of dominoes out, which is the 12 suite, or suit, or whatever you want to call it, and it runs from 0 to 12, and there's a 0 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 11, and there's your double 12, and they're still a bit eye-catching for me, these. I can't really, I'll have to drop down to show you what the other ones were. They're the other ones I was pointing at earlier on, which you didn't obviously see. And I'll pull back a little bit so we get them all in. And I've done some score sheets, which are these. Chicken foot score sheets, I don't know what they are. Mexican train. I just did a few, and I don't even know how to score yet. I've got no idea. I don't. The scoring's not a thing I've looked at yet. I've got a good idea about the game though. There's a special ramification you go through about how many tiles you've got in the boneyard and how many tiles people pick up for how many players there are and things like this. It varies, and whether you're playing with a 6 tile suit or a 9 tile suit or a 12 tile suit or a 15 tile suite or suit or whatever you call it of dominoes. And I'm still a couple of little pieces short of these little men that I've been manufacturing. Yeah, they yeah, these things won't focus unless you fill up the whole screen with your hand or something like that, piece of paper or whatever, and then they'll focus. But that's the little pieces, and the thing that I made, I painted it black, and I did a little bit of flash on it. That one's a little bit stiff. I'll take the sensing unit out. So that's what it is at the moment. And I put a bit of varnish on, and the varnish I've got is terrible. It's horrendous varnish. I won't tell you what the firm is or anything. I'm not really bothered about bringing anybody into disrepute, but it's acrylic paint and varnish, and it's horrendous. It dries immediately. But I did the back. I put a little bit of felt on the back, and oh, I know it won't scratch, but it looks a bit better, and it looks as though it's made of wood, and it brings it up a couple of millimetres, so that a tile now, when you fit a tile in it, it's nearly up to the same level, which is quite respectable. And I have sent for some new tiles with the numbers on, letters on, and I sent to America for them actually, and they will send them from America, and they're £10 cheaper. so I thought, well, if I'm going to want them, and I'm going to want them, and I'm going to want them, so I have sent for them, treated myself and sent for them. But they tell you if you order something that what they won't deliver and what they will deliver, and these they will deliver. So and that's paying the postage and the tax and entry tax and government tax, and it's still 10 quid cheaper. So something's wrong somewhere. But anyway, that's the hub. And I don't know how big hubs are supposed to be. I didn't even think about sizes when I built the thing. I just went ahead and did it. But it's quite a size, this. I think it's about 3.5 inch square. Yeah, it's about 3.5 inch square all the way around. It's quite an object, so it's taking up quite a bit of room on a table. So you'd probably need a big table to start with. And I think the game, I'll just pull back and I'll show you everything. There's my dominoes again. I'm quite pleased with them. They were a good buy for less than 10 quid them. They were a really good buy. And I'll just move the little pieces out of the way so they don't confuse you. But these weren't difficult to make. I mean, you can make them out of anything if you want. Yeah. So, and there's the double 12. So nominally what they do is, in one set of rules it says, if you what you do is you take the 12 out to start with, and then you put that in the middle, and that's the start of the game, and then the game continues from there. Or you can pick up from the boneyard, or you can pick up from the boneyard till somebody finds if they haven't got it in the hand, till somebody finds the double 12. Or you can, it's the first double, and then you scratch off the double. Apparently you scratch off whatever. So if you pick out double 7, say, you put double 7 on there, and then you scratch double 7 out on there, and then play from there on. So you play for 8 or 6 now, or whatever. Yeah, it's that's the first part. And I was a bit confused about this Mexican train, but anybody on their go can make a Mexican train. So instead of putting it on their line, they can make a Mexican train, put the thing on to say that this is the Mexican train. So you pick one of the objects to say that that's a Mexican train. I'd probably pick the black one, and that would be the Mexican train. Then you can lay on that one, and anybody can lay a tile on that one, but they can't lay a tile on yours, because The only thing that you put a train on is if you can't go. If you can't go, say the chap over here couldn't go and he couldn't lay a tile, he'd put that on. That would mean his train was now open for business, and everybody could lay the tiles on that and that one and your own. So you got three parts. And what you're trying to do is get rid of the big tiles first, apparently. Once you've got rid of the big tiles, when it comes to your last hands, whoever lays out the last tile, the rest of the people then count up and see how many they've got left, and the lowest one wins. And usually it's the one with the last tile that wins anyway, so the one out first with the last tile. So that's just about it. There's a thing about doubles as well. Until the end, if there was a double, somebody had laid a double blank there, and nobody else had got a blank to lay on it, they would have to keep picking up from the boneyard until somebody picked up another blank before they could lay it on. So that's a bit of a stop up of the game, I suppose. So once a double goes down, something happens with the double, and you can't move forward till you put a one that continues on that to cover the double up. I don't know anything about if you put a double on, like a double blank there, whether you could, once you'd laid that one on, whether you could go from the sides like a siding, so you could do two sidings off. I'm not sure. I haven't read all the rules. There's probably variants for that as well. But anyway, that's not what I came to talk about. I came to talk about the end of the thing, and this is probably it in its final form. I did what I said I was going to do. I put the few bits and pieces on which I said I was going to. I put a little thing on it, the Mexican train logo, and a couple of trains at the side. And the little bits and pieces, if your train is stuck, when you see that on, it means that train is now active and anybody can lay on there. And once it becomes inactive by somebody laying a tile on it and covering it, that has got to be removed so it becomes inactive again. So I think it's quite a comprehensive set of rules to it, and but there are so many variants that you play to house rules, I think. So whatever we like, whatever we fancy, takes our fancy, we'll play that, I think. So we'll play the original rules, and then once we've done the original rules, we'll go along. We might only play with sixes down, sixes to zeros instead of 12s to zeros. Or when I get the numbered dice, we might play with the numbered dice. I'm not sure. It all depends on the family. I mean, I'd struggle along with the 12s if I thought it was necessary, but they look a bit vicious to me. These I don't see what they are. That one's I'm counting up this tile to see what it is. What's 11? Which one's 11? And 9 and 10. You've got to. Yeah, I'd be too slow on that. Absolutely. Mind you, I'm getting on a bit. Younger people would catch on to this right away. Young children and things like that would snap it up straight away. But I'm really confused. And once the wife gets confused, she becomes disinterested. And I think my daughter would as well. So I've got to play it very loose. So we'll probably play with the numbered dominoes, or I'll play with the 6. I'll remove them and just use the 6 sweep from inside there. I've only got one set of dominoes and these are there, so I'll use the 6s, because these go down from 12, 9 and 6, don't they? So you've got like 3 sets of dominoes in one there. So I shall do that. Anyway, I'll stop there and hope this has been some use to somebody, and somebody's got some interest out of it. I don't know if they have or not. As I say, I don't really do instructions because I'm not really good at it, and there's so many instructions on this, it's out of this world. There's rules and instructions all over the place on the internet. Anyway, I'll stop there, stop waffling, and that's my final bit, unless I do anything else.